another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got
Pretend like that's the thing he said. That if only that was the thing that he said. Okay, let's listen to this. I actually don't really. I'm a bit on the stealth side. I mean, I'm a bit with convenient Estelle on this side. I'm not a big fan of those atheist debates. They actually always end up being very, very boring.
39. And I am
I'm actually really not interested in those religious debates, but the title says that it's the most insane call. So I'm expecting pushback on pronoun madness.
a man.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Right off the bat, he said, I'm a man.
I'm
So, pronoun wars commence. Let's pronounce the pronoun wars.
39. And I am a man.
Okay, so what are your pronouns?
Menouns.
I said man.
Yeah.
Great, man's not a pronoun in the
My pronouns are man and man self. There you go. Those are my
English
pronouns.
language. Can you tell me what your pronouns are?
Well, I'm not
Here, do me a
entirely
favor,
sure
do me a
exactly
favor,
what
do me a
you're
favor.
saying,
Ask me what my shoe size is. Go ahead.
Yeah, man and man self.
but, what is your shoe size?
Nike. See how that wasn't an
Okay.
answer to the question you asked?
Well, I don't really care about what your shoe size is. It's just
It was just to illustrate the point, Chris. So can you please provide me with your
Chris.
pronouns so we can continue on with the debate?
Oh, Chris.
I'm a man. I don't know what you mean by pronouns.
You don't know what pronouns are?
God damn, so many of these people think they're so smart, think they're so smug, they're so slick with the pronoun thing. But they always inevitably just look like idiots when they kind of go, what do you mean pronouns? I don't use them pronouns. I don't know what them pronouns are. I never met her. Pronoun? Never met her. God damn.
You're 39. Well, you claim to be.
well, I
39.
mean, I know pronouns is a distinction between whether or not somebody's a male or a female.
What the? No, that's. What the fuck? Oh my god. Chris. I know pronouns are the opposite of the amateur nouns.
Do you genuinely not know what pronouns are as like a tool for grammar?
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. People joke that American education has failed Americans, but goddamn. When I listen to those call-ins to Jovan and people are like, either I don't use pronouns, I don't do those pronoun things, and then just straight up not knowing what those are. It's so embarrassing. But it is true that American education system is not the best. At the primary and high school level, apparently the universities in the US are pretty good. Crayon wannabe. When I say American education has failed us, it's not a joke. But apparently the university level is actually pretty solid in the US. Even though you have to, I don't know, sell your soul and get in debt.
I mean, if I say I'm a male, I mean, isn't that a good enough answer?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh my god.
Nope.
It's like, okay,
Because it's not an answer to the question that I asked.
Specifically, it has to be specifically one thing or the other. Like it has to be. The
Well, it
answer
has
that
to be an
you-
God, I cannot believe how illiterate these people are. How illiterate these people are that call in.
answer. No, it just has to be an answer to the question I asked. My question wasn't what sex
I
are
think
you.
that is
My question was what is your
I think that
pronoun?
is as close to the answer as I can possibly
Yeah.
provide to you. I don't know how much further to
It's
get to what you want
it's
me to say.
concerning to me that as a 39-year-old individual,
Oh my
the
god.
closest you can get to what is your pronoun is male. That's
Okay.
concerning.
Understand, I have never been asked what my pronouns are. I've never been asked. I work a full-time job.
Chris, I'm going to tell you something.
I got a family.
Chris, I'm just going to be so upfront with you.
Go ahead.
I've never been asked
Go
to
ahead.
do a mountain of cocaine, but I know what my answer would be if I was asked that question. It would be no. See how even though I've never been asked that question, I would still know what my answer might be?
Okay, so
That was a very weirdly specific example, but okay. That was very weird.
I'm a male. I'm a man. What more do you want?
And
What the fuck is happening? God. If it works.
answer to the actual question, Chris. Here's the thing I want you to sort of understand. If I'm engaging in someone in a debate, and right off the bat, I ask them two questions, and they physically can't answer one of those questions.
Oh my god. Oof. That's rough. That is rough. Even back in 2019, I was threatened with non-academic probation for trying to get a campus group to stop flying the Bonnie Blue, unofficial flag of the Confederacy, until spreading actual lies. That sucks. That actually sucks.
That does not lead me to a lot of confidence in the debate, Chris.
True.
Okay, so
What are pronouns?
I'm just wondering.
But it's like already they haven't even started the debate proper. You've just been debating. They can't get the pronoun past the pronoun thing. White Hog Griffin, Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson speak Russian though. They were conquered by Peter the Great. It's more complicated than that. Plus, most Ukrainians speak Russian. So, being a Russian speaker does not mean that you're part of Russia. Just because Austria speaks German, it does not mean that it's just a part of Germany. Switzerland speaks primarily Germany, a version of German. It's a non-argument on who speaks what language.
Why
I'm responding to the Twitch chat.
you saying I'm a man isn't like enough? Like,
Because it
from
does
my
not answer the
understanding,
question that I asked
pronouns,
you.
that's just a distinction. It's just a form of distinction of whether or not some.
Oh, Great Wannabe says in the YouTube chat, all I did was write a letter asking what could be done, and I was met with threats from the administration. That is actually ridiculous. When you ask, that is the worst thing that had happened to you, especially in an academic setting, which is supposed to be one of the more professional settings on paper. On paper, higher education is this very professional and intellectual space, but then you ask a completely reasonable question as to, hey, could these people stop flying the Confederate flag? And you should expect a professional response. You should actually expect a professional and respectful response to your inquiry. That's my opinion. Crayon Wannabe, flying the Bonnie Blue was actually against campus policy, but the group doing it, Young Conservatives of Texas, had ties to Texas government, had won a court case against the college in the past, ties to the PUSA. I still think that you at least deserved a respectful and a serious response, not threats, not silliness. And when I asked what my rights were in responding to their free speech, they intentionally didn't tell me what would get me in trouble. I told them all I wanted to respect the rules of campus, and they implied me asking for those guidelines was me wanting to break them. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is just stupid. Like, I'm sorry. It is very bad when that happens to you in a space that should foster professionalism and honest discourse.
Somebody is male or female, and I'm simply stating that I'm a male.
Also, they're still stuck on the pronoun thing. That is such a litmus test. That is such a litmus test for me, the pronoun thing. That people just get stuck on it and cannot get past it.
Chris,
We're almost on minute 4 on this debate, and debate has not even started because they cannot get past the introduction because the person calling in does not know what pronouns are. A native English speaker does not know what pronouns are. A 39-year-old does that.
if you cannot in good faith answer the questions I asked you, then I have no reason to believe you'll be good faith for the remainder of our conversation here. A good faith answer to the question, what are your pronouns, would be saying the pronouns, but you're doing everything in your power, even though you're a 39-year-old man and you know what your pronouns are, you're doing everything in your power not to say that.
Not to say, yeah.
Because off
Understand
rip,
this.
I assume.
Or he's actually an idiot and doesn't know what his pronouns are. That's also a probability.
You think
Excellent
pronouns
math.
make you gay.
Understand this. I'm excellent at math, all right? I'm excellent at math,
Wonderful.
all right? But I've never been excellent at
Soccer is a sport. I don't. What do you?
All right,
Soccer is a sport. I'm
when-
glad we
if
can talk
somebody
about
was
things that don't
asking-
matter.
Understand that if somebody was to ask me what a preposition is, I know the word, but it doesn't mean I could actually tell you what a preposition is. If
So
you
you're
were asking
telling
what
me
a
you
pronoun is, I've
you're
heard
telling
the
me
word
you-
pronouns, but I
Okay, I'm sorry. You've heard the word pronouns. You've used a bunch of them in this conversation, but you don't know what they are.
is male not a pronoun?
No. Wow. Is
Then what
male
is? What's my?
is male not a pronoun? Oh my god. Oh my god. The American education system really has failed people to an embarrassing degree.
What's my choices?
Sure, I could go over all 111 pronouns in the English language if you'd like.
111.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's impossible, but
Here, I'll ask the question super simply, Chris. There are between you.
This is impossible. Impossible. Grammatically, there are male pronouns. Yeah, there are male pronouns, but it doesn't mean that your pronoun is male. So the word male is not a pronoun still, even if there are male pronouns. Also, I don't think there are male pronouns. If anything, there are masculine pronouns, which is not the same. I think the term is masculine pronouns, actually, and feminine pronouns.
Twitch and Instagram, there are a solid 1,100 to 1,200 people watching this conversation right now. When they refer to you in chat, should they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
well, I'm a male, so I am a he.
There we go. That could have,
Okay.
saved.
So, almost 6 minutes in, and the debate is about to start. Riveting.
5 minutes if you had just said that at the start, Chris.
So you're looking for a specific word.
Well, I'm looking
that's
for a word that would have been a
what I was
pronoun,
about.
Chris. A word that would have been a pronoun, yeah. Any of them would have counted.
But you
And quite
you
literally,
couldn't sit there and say, well,
any
this
of
person
them.
says they're a male, so they're a he.
Male isn't a pronoun.
This person
Male's not a pronoun.
admitted they were a male, so it's a he.
Chris, I know tons of males who don't use he, him pronouns. I don't assume.
There
That's
you go.
why, fun
Okay.
fact, that's why I did this really crazy thing, which was ask. Just
Right, well, I'm
I
not
know.
necessarily here to debate the pronouns part. I mean, that's kind of weird to me, but
Yeah. It
uh,
kind
No,
of
it's a,
just
I guess
it's a.
it kind of just weirdly spontaneously happened, didn't it? Also, this wasn't a debate. This was just a person not being able to whatever. Let's.
my
Question that's a
question is,
rule for everyone that
what is
comes onto the stream. But go ahead with your question.
just what's your issue with religion?
What is my issue with religion? Well, it's not true for one. I tend to have an issue with things that are not true that try to influence societal norms or decisions.
I used to be more. I used to be so much more militaristic when it comes to being anti-religion and stuff, and then I grew up, and then I grew past it.
Have a bit of an issue with that. Two, it's not true. So
Wait,
like
one and two
pretty
are the
similar.
same? No, the same.
So I tend to not like things that are like fundamentally proven false through like historical or just like
Yeah, it is a debate about religion.
physics data. Three, I
I
don't
thought
like
I thought that's why you said that you don't like them, because you knew it was gonna be a debate about religion.
untrue things. That sounds really close to one and two, but I promise you it's different. And then four, I just really do not like things that don't happen to be true.
Okay, so what's your evidence that it's not true?
I mean, I don't know why the burden is shifting here, right? I don't have to prove
So you
something
want
is
me to go
not
ahead?
true.
Okay.
I don't have
I'm
to prove
supposed to prove
something's
it to
not
you.
true. Yeah, I don't there's no the burden of evidence is not on me. I'm not making a claim that this thing is real, right? I don't have to like if I asked you to prove to me unicorns don't exist, that's functionally impossible. Because
But
anytime you
let me go ahead
said,
and
hey, like if you came in and said, hey, look, I scoured the whole earth and didn't find a unicorn, I could just say, well, yeah, he came in, he showed up on the island after you left the island. You see what I'm,
let me go ahead and start.
you get that?
All right.
I love
So,
unicorns.
question is, do you believe a lot of the stuff in the Bible is true?
I believe the bulk of the Bible is fictional. I believe that
The bulk of
places,
the Bible.
people, like things like that, are based on real world things.
Something that being true doesn't make it harmful. That's true. It doesn't make it harmful. I mean, all of fiction is not true. Or at least not real, and it's not necessarily harmful. And I love fiction. I love engaging in fiction.
But like the stories of the Bible,
I've been reading a very interesting. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna do a President Sunday and in the middle of this suddenly give you my recommendations of the things that I've been reading. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because I've been criticizing President Sunday for that. So if I did that, that would make me a giant hypocrite, wouldn't it?
are primarily untrue stories.
Okay. All right. So I know that archaeology has often rested on.
And also, religion can have its societal goals. Religion have its purposes. Like I always give this example. You're stopping because you don't want to read about the smut you're reading. Got him. Maybe. It's okay. I'll DM you. DM you later. Like religion can have its purposes. I like to give this example because it was given by a rabbi in Poland before World War II. He was the rabbi that created the first comprehensive translation of the Torah to Polish. And he also wrote a whole introduction to the translation of the Torah to Polish. And in that introduction, he wrote how the entire purpose of the Torah, the entire purpose of the religion, basically, which I found interesting that a rabbi wrote it, was to help Jewish people in exile to survive as a people, basically. That the Torah is divided into roughly 3 parts, and each of these 3 parts serve a purpose to best help the Jewish people survive. First one origin story, and that is basically how the rabbi described it. All people need an origin story, something that they can look back to and say, that is our origin, that is where we came from, this is our myth, foundation myth. So basically that's the first part. Hello, Lisa. And the second part is basically rules, because a group of people cannot survive without having any rules to abide by. There has to be structure and organization. So Jewish people had their rules written in the Torah. And third part, roughly, is the prophecies, because a people, in order to be able to survive and thrive, also need something to look forward to. And this is the role of the prophecies, in order for them to be able to look forward to something in the future and, have hope. And that was basically, I guess, Judaism in a nutshell. So religion definitely has served purposes, right? Does that make sense?
A lot of the historical items that are in the Bible, and they have found a lot of things that are just typically.
That's interesting, but I don't really agree with this interpretation. I mean, you can disagree. I find it compelling enough. I'm not sure how versed you are in Judaism to begin with. Not to fire shots. There you go. Let's continue.
I don't know, just very in awe. They have found quite a few archaeological discoveries thanks to the Bible. So the very fact that we're able to use the Bible to begin with,
As I said, I believe that people, places, things like that in the Bible are probably based on real people, places, and things. Because when people write,
One moment. I mean, I don't think the society comes after the rules. Oh no, no, you don't understand. The society didn't come after the rules. The rules came after the society. No. That's not the interpretation. The interpretation is that the rules were made for the society so that it could survive in exile. Yeah. Like this interpretation of the Torah very frankly claims that the Torah was constructed around the people, not the people around the Torah. So it's not the other way around. God, my chest hurts. If I get a heart attack on stream, then you have to call an ambulance. My mom's here. It's okay. If I get a heart attack, my mom's gonna call the ambulance. I'm feeling a really big, ache in my chest, around this area here, on the right side.
stories, they tend to write around settings they know. If in 100 years from now, let's say there's an apocalypse tomorrow, and then I'll even go further. Let's say 1,000 years from now, I find a book about New York, and then through archaeological finds, I find a bodega. That's not me going, oh well, now there's a religion surrounding
my face. No, not really. My face. I just feeling a big ache in my chest, but my face is not really droopy now. The only real symptom is that my chest hurts on this side, here. what I'm showing. I'm not sure if it shows on camera here. I feel like a stabby pain. No, I'm not feeling weak, thank goodness. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's nothing. But I do feel maybe it is just a intercostal nerve pinch. I'm hoping. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm not feeling weak actually. No, I don't. I'm not having speech difficulty, no. Well, since if anything happened, lift your arms. If anything happened, my mom is in the next door, so I could just call her. But I'm feeling a bit of a pain in the chest. Unexpected. Do you have known heart issues? No, I don't. But my grandfather had heart issues actually. When I was a kid, my grandfather had to have a bypass surgery. So I know that I have a family history of heart issues. Crayon Onabi, do you lean on your arm a lot? One time I went to the ER because I thought I was having a heart attack, but I actually pulled the cartridge in my chest because of the way I would lean on my elbow. That could be it. I do lie down in various different weird poses, so that could actually be it. Yeah. It's like an air trapped somewhere pressing. Oh, yeah. That's also possible, yeah. Because I'm not getting any of the symptoms that Estelle has listed, so. Plus it's actually lessened now, so I think, it might be nothing. Plus, again, if anything happened, my mom would call an ambulance. Okay, we'll listen to a bit of the debate. But yeah, we're gonna listen to a little bit of a debate, and then maybe Karas will call in, and we're gonna be talking about. I want to watch a video about Dark Sun. Actually, I want to react to a video about tabletop setting, and then Karas will be able to fact check it in real time and see if it's nonsensical or if it's actually a legit video. I'm gonna watch it from the beginning on stream. Karasu says, I often have such pain. Staying air bed can lead these stabby kind of. Yeah, I don't like. I get nervous when I get this stabby kind of pain.
New York, right? It's just that people who are alive tend to write about the things they know.
Okay. So
Also, I'm pretty sure the Bible started with an oral tradition, not straight away with written.
all these people throughout the history of the Bible,
Let's not forget that Judaism, the pre-Judaism before the Judaism that we know now, was not even monotheistic religion. It had more than one god prior to the Exodus.
about 6,000 years.
Monotheistic.
Each one of them talking about a central figure.
Because there was the Judaism before the Judaism that we know now. It's actually pretty interesting to learn about it. Like God had a wife, then the wife was represented by the tree of life.
And not contradiction with one another.
Oh, well, that's not true.
Whatsoever.
There's a lot of contradictions specifically if we're talking about the central figure in the story of Jesus. There are plenty of contradictions that exist throughout the Gospels, especially if you look at like John and like in the Synoptic Gospel, or the Synoptic Gospels of Mark.
Okay, if your mom is, Kyle says, okay, if your mom is there, ask about George Louis Bourget, please. Oh yeah, George Louis Bourget. Who was the author that you told me about earlier when I talked about the 100 Years of Solitude? I think you gave me. Louis Borgia. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm reading. I have it here. Where? Hold on. I have it. I have it here. Yeah, I'm reading it. Because my mom told me to read it. Yeah, my mom told me that she knows his short stories actually. That is what my mom told me. She doesn't know any books in particular, but she's familiar with his short stories. All right, let's continue the religion debate for a bit.
Matthew and Luke, they
Also, if you wanna, you can always consider donating to my anti-heart attack fund. That could be good.
contradict a bunch of shit in John.
Okay,
Because
so we're just gonna continue with the religion thing for a bit, and then I'm gonna fulfill the title of my stream, and we're gonna do some investigating into the dark sun because I got interested. Oh yeah, she likes. I have a very literally inclined family. Like I've always kind of been. It's always been. There's been this attitude that you have to know certain authors and books, or else you're just no good. Which made me just feel like I don't know anything. So talk about it, and then I can criticize you for talking books while covering other content. Yeah, I know. Like I criticize President Sunday when he talks about what he reads or watches.
they're all written differently in
They actually
secondhand.
don't.
They do.
So I had a fellow.
But again,
not too
just
long ago
Chris, I'm sorry,
bring this
hold on,
conversation-
Chris,
Because the
just really
religious
quickly.
debates are really not that interesting. I'm finding like whenever Jovan has a religious debate, it usually I usually get just bored really quickly. At least with the trans debates, I get the satisfaction of trans folks being put in their place, and with the religious discussions, I'm like, you know. I have previous heart condition because Lucy broke my heart, says Simon Pierre Dubé. Listen, it's still on the table. You can become a dollar Patreon and we will have that date.
None of this is what I said, which is there's no compelling external evidence for Christianity. Anything you pull out of the Bible is internal evidence. There's no external.
So
There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade in the
Basically-
background. That's cool.
historically,
It's so cool to
using
have an
the
arcade
match,
machine in your house.
What's happened in the Bible to a lot of things.
If I had an arcade machine, I would also make it part of my set, to be honest. Like Jovan here has arcade machines. I'd like to have an arcade machine as part of my set. And then I'd invite people to play arcade with me. It'd be cool.
the world that we see today. One of the things that I think is pretty awesome was the flood. There is a
What? Also, you can tell me when you think that the religion debate is getting a little bit boring. If you think that you can just tell me if you're ready to move on to other stuff.
at one time a world flood that had covered the world, And according to the Bible, it was 40 days, 40 nights. Well, it was longer than that, but it was the rain
So-
part.
Okay, it seems we're back. Are we back? All right, perfect. We're gonna do a little bit of that debate with religion, and then we're gonna move on.
Chris, there are two different claims here.
Tried to
Chris,
debunk there is a flood.
Chris.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
they have. There is quite literally.
Wait, who had a dispute? Sorry, we had a bit of a dispute this morning, but we cleared it up pretty quick. Wait, who? You and me? Wait, what dispute did we have? Hold on. I have to check. I had a dispute with you this morning? Oh. I'm sorry, I don't realize how I'm making things worse, and I'm glad when she's able to tell me. I mean, it happens. It happens, you know. Especially when you're close to someone, it happens, you know. It is inevitable. I thought everything was about me. It's my stream. Are? Kondo wa gemu jane no? Ai, ima wa gemu janai no de. Ato de. Ato de chotto gemu suru no desu. だから、見れば、待てば、後での何のゲームするのか。テールズ・オブ・ベルゼリア。でもこれは後で。今はリアクト。と投げむテールズ・オブ・ベルゼリア。But yeah, Estelle, you just, it's like, I don't think it's a matter of getting or not getting in a dispute. It's how you handle the dispute. That's what's important. If you can navigate it, and if you can get into an understanding, then that's, then that's fine. All right, let's watch a bit of it.
Really zero evidence of a worldwide flood. There is evidence of large scale floods that happen different points throughout the world.
Well, yeah, there's actually no evidence of that worldwide flood. I used to visit a Korean family, and they would be religious Christian Bible. They were very intense about the Bible, and they created their own big interpretation of the Bible, that the world at the beginning used to be surrounded by this water barrier that blocked the rays of the sun, and that caused people to live for thousands of years. And the flood was actually God getting rid of this protective barrier and causing it to rain down on earth. Who's making a Dark Sun game? Karaswenai. Hello, Vezon.
Which is why.
But yeah, they were very seriously discussing the lore of the world being surrounded by this magic water barrier that made people live for thousands of years. So
Most
Yeah, but it's not kind of, there is evidence of worldwide flood that is the end of the glacier period. But the glacier period did not cause quite the flood that is described in the Bible, like that the entire world was covered in water head to toe, right? Like it was a flood that was, yeah, it was a worldwide flood, but it was a flood that happened around the globe, but it's not a flood that engulfed the entirety of the globe. But yeah, Karasu is correct, of course.
Cultures have some sort of tale of large flooding because floods just happen, and people whose frame of reference of the world is so small, they think that
It
flood
is actually very interesting to get into that and see which part used to be not underwater, what are now underwater, that the Baltic Sea is actually the Baltic Sea actually is a huge chunk of ice that melted. Those things are interesting.
flooding for them is flooding for everybody because their frame of reference is so small. But there is zero, and you have zero credible evidence that there was a flood that covered the entirety of the globe.
All right. So geologists, they agree that there was at one time a worldwide flood. So are you going to sit there and say those
No, they
geologists
don't.
are lying?
No, they do not.
I mean, Karasu is correct. There was a worldwide flood. It just didn't cover the entire, but the flood was worldwide because we did have the ice age, so that's correct. And here's the thing: due to humans tending to settle near the water, even this flood could have been catastrophic on settlement. I mean, probably was, yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, considering that the Nile River, like there were pluses and minuses to the Nile River just overflowing, but even that kind of was very, um, it was very, what's the word? Mm, relevant. Yeah.
I could literally Google right now, does
Okay,
geologists
do it.
believe that there was a
Go ahead.
worldwide
Do
flood?
it. Do it.
And the very first sentence that I'm looking at right now is geologists generally agree that a worldwide flood, as described in religious texts, is physically, it has, excuse me, is physically consistent
You know
with
what's
the Earth's
fun?
geological
You know
record.
what's fun about AI overview? It tells you different things. So my AI overview, no, the overwhelmingly majority of geologists and scientists do not agree there was a worldwide global flood. So I tend to not use the AI overview. So can you point me to like a peer-reviewed geological paper that says we found
Yeah,
evidence of this?
nobody agrees that it happened as in religious. No, no one agrees. Yeah, but the fact that like there being an ice age and the ice melting causing flood, that's just fact. That's just fact. That's just undisputable fact. Like nobody disputes that. It would be silly to dispute that. Like if you dispute that, then you just have to read about it because it's just treated as fact.
Flooding? Can you point me to the
Like again, the Baltic Sea is melted ice, right, from the ice age.
academic literature that says we know that there was a global flood?
All right. So I know of several scientists, one of them being, well, I don't know if he was a scientist or not, but he was a geological freak. Like he loved geological stuff. not really the guy, but a guy named Kent Hovind. He had actually made multiple
There's no
studies
way.
on it. I don't agree with everything that he.
There's no way we did Kent Hovind, bro. I can't take a theist seriously if they bring up Kent Hovind. Just like Loki.
So I thought he had some compelling. Things because, like, in the Book of Genesis, it does talk about that there is a firmament in between the heavens.
Karasu says, you had territory between British Isles and today's France, for example. Yeah, you did. They used to be connected, yeah. Yeah. Those places used to be connected. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
But again, that's just indisputable fact. That's just indisputable fact.
A firmament in between the waters. Firmament being air. Kent Hovind had this theory that the Earth is one time covered in water.
Whoa. Hold on. The Earth being one point covered in water is not the thing that we're disagreeing here, because most scientists will agree that at one point in the Earth's history, it was covered solely in water, right? We actually agree on this, but this was billions of years ago. This wasn't when the Bible claims it happened, which would have been what, 3,000 years ago is the claim, or I guess a little under 2,000. So like,
the thing is,
we don't disagree on that. We don't disagree that at hold on. I'm just pointing out we don't disagree that at one point all of the Earth was covered in water. The disagreement is that there was a massive flood that happened at the exact same time that then flooded the Earth after the Earth was now land and water mixed, and two, that a man built a boat and put two of every animal on there, and that's how we kept animals alive. Both of those things would be in massive contention.
A big boat when you have two of each
there
animal.
was a person that actually explained the ark pretty well, and stated at the time that it was very much possible. He had stated that he probably didn't get every single animal.
How many species of animals do you think existed at the same time as Noah? Well, what do you think the species count was?
At least 100. At least 100, right? Elephants, giraffes, piglets, horses. Horses definitely existed, right? Horses existed.
An answer because we didn't.
Because the horses were saved on the ark, Vosh was able to have them on the never mind.
Historically have any kind of records.
I am funny and I have funny humor, and you know it. You know I have funny humor. Last glacier period ended around almost 12,000 years ago, a little less.
What species existed at that time?
How big of a boat do you think Noah would need?
Well, I did the research on this one time. I have a paper buried amongst other paperwork.
Hold on. Wait. Chris. You just told me you have no idea how many species would have existed, but you were able to then do the research on how big the boat would need to be?
No, I just said at least 100. At least 100 species existed. Yeah. I don't think I'm incorrect. Am I incorrect by saying that at least 100 species existed?
How could you know how big the boat needs to be if you don't know how many species there were?
It would need to be very big, is my answer. Right? Very big boat? Quite a big boat? At least as big as that yacht that the crypto bros wanted to use as their independent yacht country, right? Do you remember the yacht country of the techno crypto bros that they wanted to live on the ocean in their yacht, and it was supposed to be neutral from any country, and they would just live with their families on the big yacht. It would have to be at least that, right? See, and this is where Kent Hovind is wrong, because dinosaurs were not just large lizards; they were large birds.
What I'm stating is that I at one time did the math of how big Noah's boat was.
But you'd be missing a variable in doing that math.
Hello, Greaterite. We're just talking about how big of a boat you'd have to fit at least two animals of each species, which is at least 100. And the Noah's Ark was at least as big as the Crypto Bros yacht that they bought to live as their independent little yacht country. No. Yacht.
There's quite literally a variable you don't have an answer to.
Socialix, does that account for the young offspring from each animal? It does. It was all animal incest orgy. Oh, piss off, it's not yacht. Yes, it is. It is now.
Which is how many animals there were. So you can't possibly know how big the boat must be.
So basically what you're telling me is that I would have to figure out how many animals existed before I can figure out how big the boat needs to be. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the boat would need to be a pretty big boat. And it's pretty impressive that Noah built it all by himself, by the way. I'm pretty sure the Bible says that Noah built the whole boat by himself, didn't he? Did his family actually help him? Does it even mention in the Bible if his family actually helped him in building the boat? Did he build it all by himself? I don't remember, actually.
To know how much cargo is on the boat, to know how big the boat must be. Yeah.
Okay.
If the flood...
I think his family helped him. Well, that's good. It's nice to have nice family that helps you and stuff. His sons. Okay, that makes sense. See, the story is becoming more believable by the second. He didn't do it alone. He had help of his sons. See?
If the flood happened as according to the Bible, which is being as tall as the flood going up to as tall as the tallest mountain in the world, right? No animal is surviving that if that flood is 40. You're going to...
Please let me stop you real quick. You stopped me several
please.
times. Let me stop you on that.
What if it was a giant flood that engulfs the entire world, but it was actually like the flood like in Waterworld? Have you ever seen that movies, Waterworld? When the entire world was covered in water and they all lived on boats and ships and they had special machines to change their piss into drinking water. And at the end of the movie, they discovered that there was actually a piece of land still. And they found that piece of land at the end of the movie. You remember? Yeah, maybe the flood, maybe the biblical flood was like that. Maybe, the filtration machines. Maybe the biblical flood just flooded almost everything, and there was a piece of land left, actually, because God was like, they're not gonna find that piece of land. They're not gonna find it. Come on. I can leave some land intact. Noah's not gonna know. It's like Noah's gonna go to that other side of the world. Okay? He's not gonna know. I'm just gonna fuck with him. I'll leave some animals on that piece of land that I'm gonna actually leave intact, and I'm just gonna pretend that I'm flooding the entire thing. Okay? I'm just gonna leave the piece of land far away from him so that he won't know. There you go. Maybe that was the thing. And of course, I actually watched Waterworld when it first came out in the cinemas. So just so you know, I actually watched that one in the cinemas. That's cool. Oh man, I want to play some Dark Sun.
Yes.
Understand something. All right, for a living.
Also, they were not supposed to be debating the flood. I don't know. First they were talking about pronouns. Now they're debating. They are not supposed to be debating the flood because it's not on the list. None of the things on the list say whether or not the flood was real. No compelling external evidence for Christianity. Like, it doesn't matter if the flood was real or not. For evidence of Christianity could be real, like hypothetically speaking, Christianity could be real and the flood could be fake. Right? Christianity could still be real and flood could be a fake thing within Christianity. So the debate should not be about the flood because it's not any of the topics from the list. They should move. Jovan should be moving on from the flood because it's not. It says nothing of the claim of whether or not Christianity is actually real or not, or evidence for Christianity. Right? Does that make sense? Karasu says, look, you need to debate the flood. If no gendered pronouns, how would know which animals choose? See, this is why Hungarians died during the flood. No gender pronouns, so us Hungarians are gender confused. True. That is true.
For my secular job, I deal with logistics.
Actually, the president of Hungary has visited Poland recently. And I was afraid that the Polish president would use that opportunity to endorse Orbán. We cannot use our godly given gendered pronouns in birth, true.
With transporting objects. All right. I don't get to state I got so much. So let's see how big the trailers I need to bring in for these products. No, I got to find a way to fit so much into the trailers in which I'm provided.
Okay, Chris, if I called you to do logistics
And
I said, Chris, I have products I need to ship, right? I got to ship some products. Would be the first fucking question you ask me. Let's say I'm shipping
What do you want to ship?
shoes. Chris, I got to ship shoes. I got
what brand? That would be my first question. What brand?
a bunch of shoes that need shipping.
What brand?
What should be the very first question you ask me?
Brand.
Okay, that's outside of logistics. That would be more over planning. So that would be more over how many items would you need?
No, my first question would be the brand of the shoe.
Did you just say that wouldn't be logistics, that would be planning?
No, logistics don't plan for manufacturing. Logistics, they.
I'm not talking about
receive and they
manufacturing.
ship
I'm
it
talking
out.
about shipping. Logistics for shipping would be planning the shipping.
Oh no.
Ain't no way you work in logistics, dog.
No, I do. I'm kind of. You never worked in shipping, have you?
I get it. You in the mailroom. I get it. If I
No,
told you I have a bunch of shoes, I have to ship them from Japan to the United States.
Oh no.
What would be the first question you ask me?
What is the brand of the shoe?
If you have a bunch of shoes that you need to ship to Japan,
From Japan to the US, what would be the first question you ask me?
What
How
is
many-
the what is the size of the shoes?
Any shoes are you wanting
How
me to say?
many shoes? So you would know how big.
This is an amazing conversation, okay? I love this conversation. I don't know why. This is just very strange.
Of a container,
Okay.
you got to put those shoes in. You can't possibly know the answer to that without knowing how many. So no, we can't have any possible clue how big Noah's Ark must be without knowing if it is to be believed that he brought one of every animal, or I'm sorry, two of every animal. We need to know how many animals there were. Otherwise,
A lot. The answer is a lot of
we
animals.
physically can't do the
Okay.
logistics.
So
Also, even if you can't to defend this poor guy a little bit, even if you can't do the logistics, it doesn't mean that, technically speaking, it would not need to mean that the event was fake. You can just say, I don't know how big the Noah's Ark was. There you go. I just don't know. It was very big.
here's one thing that I do know. All right, concerning the Ark, I do know the Ark.
It was made of wood.
was bigger than a football field. I
Well,
remember that much. It might have been as big as two. I can't remember.
damn.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's do a quick
What
rundown.
we do know,
Do you think we could
what we
fit
do know,
two of every animal on the planet in 2 football fields?
Oh, it depends on how much you would squeeze them. Maybe some animals would stand on top of the other animals. Like some birds, if you had elephants, for example, or other big animals, then technically speaking, some small animals like mice and stuff could stand on them. Squirrels, small animals could stand on big animals. It would just, conserve space that way, and they would all squeeze together to preserve space. It's possible.
another thing that we
Depends on how would you plan out that inventory.
do know
Yes,
is that
by that,
things
yeah.
that are built back then, built back then are built differently than things are built today.
True.
They're built
Things that were
different,
built
huh?
back then, they still last today.
True. They were built better.
They still exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a lot tougher than we give credit for.
Exactly. They were tougher. Maybe have you considered that Noah? Okay, listen to this, okay? You're going to be impressed with me now. I bet you did not consider this. You know what? Screw it. Actually, Noah's boat was very small. Noah's boat was very small. Noah's boat was like a small yacht that you take. Small yacht that you have will take with a family, right? But have you considered that Noah might have been a Time Lord? Small on the outside, bigger on the inside. So I guess Noah just had his boat TARDIS. That's possible because TARDIS can actually apparently shapeshift into much anything you want. It was just the Doctor's TARDIS is stuck as a police box, but technically speaking, the technology allows you to make it look like anything you want. So Noah had his boat TARDIS, and in this boat TARDIS, he simply fit every single animal type. 2 of every animal. Easy. If I were the guy, I would have told that to Jovan. And Jovan has no evidence that Time Lords do not exist. So I think I would have won that debate. Also, it is actually true. Like, for example, light bulbs used to last. A lot of things were. It's not that things were built better then. It's that, and I'm gonna be a super communist now. It's that capitalism mandates that we buy things regularly. Because if we buy something just once and it lasts us for 50, 60 years, then how would the company making these things make money? Like if people would just buy their product once and it would last them forever, that would not, they would not make any profit of it. They would not make any money. They would just make money once and then bam, that's it. So they had to make things to last less time so that people would return and buy more of that stuff. Right? Or we have different light bulbs now still, so the light bulb technology now is different than it was. But that's true for many technologies. Light bulbs just one example. I'm not embargoing you, Emily. Aliens make more sense than the Bible. Maybe we'll watch it later. I could see Doctor Who actually having done actually what you described in some niche comic from the 90s that no more than 20 people have read. True. Also, hello, Curio Cat number 2. I'm seeing you here for the first time. I hope you're enjoying the stream. And the reason is that light bulbs in incandescent ones are way less efficient and at producing light when they are driven less hard to last longer. So it's way more electricity for less light, I see. But I'm pretty sure there are examples of things that were just lifespan shortened.
Then where's the ark?
The Ark? Well, they believe they found the Ark.
Nobody
As of right
found.
now, it's a
nobody's
political
found the ark.
nightmare.
Nobody's found the
There
ark.
was a whole scandal in Japan around that, actually. But never mind. Never mind that now. We're not ignoring you, Emily. We love you. Listen.
What?
You're being grifted. You're being grifted.
Okay. They believe they found the Ark, but it's a political nightmare to actually locate it. We're talking about an item that was 40 years ago that is probably buried under dirt right now.
Chris, you want to know what's crazy?
You want
to know what's crazy? Chris, do you want to know what's crazy? We know how big the ark was because it says in the Bible it would have been 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits in width, and 30 cubits in height. 300 cubits is about 450 feet. So it'd be 450 feet long.
Damn.
And then it would have been 75 feet in width and 45 feet in height.
That's a big boat.
Do you think we can fit 2 of every animal on the globe in that much space?
Of course, it depends on how you handle that space. Again, some animals might be on other animals. Bible had aliens, only thing that makes... Yeah, Time Lords.
I believe it's possible.
Just a
Especially
real quick. Are you a creationist or do you believe in the theory of evolution?
No, I believe that we are all created.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I believe... Whatever.
I believe that we came from monkeys.
Okay. Let's not count fish or birds, even though we'd probably have to count birds because they would need to land at some point. So let's not count fish or birds. So not counting fish or birds. Okay?
Listen, I still believe my headcanon. I still believe my Waterworld headcanon that God actually secretly left a bunch of land unflooded and just didn't tell Noah about it. You can be a creationist and evolutionist. I was actually about to say that, but I refrained. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to get into it, but yeah, it actually is physically possible to marry these two concepts. It's not impossible. Dr. Jones says, depends. If not white people did a mega project, then it had to be aliens. Emily, neither humans were genetically engineered by aliens, by Time Lords.
Okay, this is going to be the fun part. Not counting fish or birds, there are a solid 1.5 million species on the planet.
Yeah. What of it?
Okay, do you think there's
And-
1.5 million species on the planet 4,000 years ago?
There must have been, because you don't believe in evolution. So where would these species have
Well,
come
you
from?
wouldn't know because you weren't here 4,000 years ago. You just weren't here. None of us were.
Chris, if
None of
you
us
don't
were. The
believe in
only thing that we have to
evolution,
lean on-
Chris,
The only thing that we
Chris,
have to lean on
Chris,
is
If
historical.
Oh my
you're a
God, Chris is embarrassing himself again. Oh, I thought it would be a boring religious debate, but it's just quite silly. It's a silly religious debate. Dr. John says, was those damn space Jews who invade from Mars and made us all right brain or something?
creationist, if you're a
Item.
creationist, where did the animals come from then? Where did these species come from?
The forests,
I'm depending
the
on the
mountains.
oldest book that's ever existed.
Where did the species come from if evolution isn't real?
God.
I 100% believe that each and every single species came from God.
There you go.
So-
Oh man, I anticipated the answer to that one.
When did God create the animals? We know this because the Bible tells us.
Currently around 6,000 years ago.
And when was the flood?
4,000 years ago, roughly, give or take.
So that means every animal that exists had to have existed 6,000 years ago, because God hasn't created new ones. He hasn't
believe that.
updated. He hasn't up. You don't. Where does it say God made new species? It doesn't anywhere.
Yeah.
He made all of the animals
Yeah.
in Genesis. Specifically, what was it? First day he made the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, Gray Young Wannabe says, oh, he's not just a creationist, he's a younger creationist. Delicious, true.
Second day he made. Oh my God! What was the what happened?
I
on each-
already explained how it's perfectly possible. I should actually add Jovan on Discord and tell him and explain him. This is a 6 hours ago video, so I should just add him and tell him how it was possible. I should do it right now. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it right now. You asked how it was possible to fit all of the animals on Noah's Ark. Have you ever considered the possibility that Noah was a Time Lord and the Ark was a TARDIS, bigger on the inside than on the outside? You should learn to keep an open mind. There you go. I sent a message to Jovan regarding this thing. I sent a message. I added him to set him straight. Okay. There you go. I hope he'll learn his lesson. See, now
they-
if I have a problem and I have something smart to add to the discussion, I can just direct those things to him directly. Direct those. I can just tell him those things directly. Convenient.
Days in Genesis. Either way, if you don't believe in evolution, and the Bible doesn't say God updated with Animal Patch 1.3, added fucking lizards, right? Because Adam named all the animals, remember?
Yeah.
So if God made the animals,
Adam named all the animals in all the existing languages. You mentioned me? Oh, I have not mentioned you. Do you want me to mention you? To Jovan?
this would have been on day, oh my gosh, on day 6, he made land animals and humans. And there are at least 1 million confirmed species. That means all of those animals.
Oh, yeah. You're not the only convenient thing around here.
Would have had to have been on the ark. Every single one of them.
You know what I believe in? I believe in adaptation to your surroundings.
Yeah. What?
And I believe that certain animals have ended up in certain areas of the world a couple thousand years
So-
ago
Evolution?
and has changed.
Adaptation
How they
to
are.
your environment.
I cannot believe that this guy just walked himself into evolution while discussing the flood. He just basically he logicked himself into evolution being a thing. Just it's insane. Oh
I
gosh.
do believe in
To their
evolution.
surroundings.
So you believe in evolution?
Well, short term, yes, I do. On the short term spectrum, I don't
On the
believe
short term.
that we evolved from monkeys.
No
I think
one
that's
believes we
preposterous
evolved
and
from
lacking one
monkeys, so
second
that
evidence.
that would make sense. Nobody believes that.
Well, why were we being taught that in school?
We
Oh my
weren't. We were
God.
being taught that us and monkeys had a common ancestor, not that we
No, I was
evolved
taught
from
in school
monkeys.
That no,
No, you
I was
weren't.
taught in school that we're.
Then you had a
born from
bad
monkeys.
teacher, Chris. What state are you from? What state?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the best religious debate ever, even though most of the time it has nothing to do with debating religion.
What state do you?
None of it actually has anything to do with debating the religion itself. They've been debating the flood for a while now, but they've not really been debating Christianity itself at all. This is delicious, as someone has said in the comments,
Did you grow up in?
in the chat.
Defined from.
What state did you grow up in? What state did you go to elementary or middle or high school in?
Defined from.
You understand that this is a very difficult question because I've lived in 5 different states during my childhood.
Oh my God! When your teachers taught you that we evolved from monkeys, what state were you living in?
Oh god.
Oh gosh, that would have been between West Virginia, Ohio, and possibly California.
West Virginia.
Okay, well, if it was West Virginia, then we got our answer.
Oh god, come on. Don't be so mean to West Virginia. Come on. I know it's rough in West Virginia, but West Virginia has some nice places, okay? Plus, if memory serves, West Virginia is, I think, also close to Maryland, isn't it? West Virginia explains.
Now you think, just so that I'm confirming, you think that evolution can happen short scale, but that it can't happen long scale. So species
Well, no, I
adapt,
believe that.
but they can't
You can
adapt
have adaptation without evolution. How do you have adaptation without evolution?
I
so
believe-
much over millions of years that they become.
And I don't mean adaptation as in I adapted by going to a cave when it rains. Because I guess that's a form of adaptation, in which case. I'm gonna look up this word, Lamarckism. I knew that Marxism would enter the chat sooner or later in this. Lamarckism proposed by Jean-Baptiste Lamarck of 1809 is obsolete theory of evolution. It's a theory of evolution. How can you have adaptation without evolution if Lamarckism is itself a theory of evolution, suggesting that physical changes acquired during an organism's lifetime, driven by environmental needs and use of disuse of organs, are passed on to offspring. That's a yeah, it's an evolutionary framework. Oh, Estelle, you lied to me, as always. Socialists, we evolved from apes that are extinct. Come on, we are monkeys. What's wrong with being monkeys? Let's just embrace it.
Other species.
I believe if we existed for millions of years and evolution was still going, then yeah, it would. But
So what do you mean
never-
still going? When did evolution stop?
Stopping
is
point.
millions of years old.
You don't believe it's million. And how old is it?
6,000 years.
I do believe that it is 6,000 years old, and that is according to the oldest book that's ever been recorded. The oldest book.
You think
that
the
exists
Bible
to
is the
this
oldest
day.
book?
I do believe so. Well, the books in it are the old part. It's not
You think those?
necessarily
You think that's
the
the?
Bible
That
put
I
together.
have a fucking E. Ooh.
Please tell me you
Yikes.
understand what I'm trying to say. It's the books that are in the Bible that's been written, and before they were, what's that word? Translated into the language that we understand.
Transitioned.
That part of it
Yikes.
is what's old.
Ooh. Yikes.
Them.
No. We have
Now, I think you
translated
probably
texts
think
much
the world's
older.
millions are- No, we just think it's older. I don't believe that it is older. The reason why I don't believe
I
it's
get it.
older is
I
because
get
the
it.
evidence that they use,
I get it.
use, I don't believe is
I get it.
sound, because we have not existed millions of years to know that the processes that they use are actually sound science.
Why?
And not just that, but there's a lot of variables that they don't configure in there. Possibly even there being a flood that happened that could have caused a lot of those variables to happen.
So,
Why?
so Chris's reason for not believing is because he just doesn't believe.
True.
What about the process of
What am I
dating?
supposed to not believe?
What about the process of dating do you call into question? Be specific.
Have you considered that the dating process might be dated? Have you considered that, Jovan? I'm not gonna write him that. Okay, I already wrote him a silly thing for the day.
Don't be vague.
The process of dating.
Yeah.
No, so the process of dating is when a girl meets a boy or a boy meets a boy. You know, when a person meets a person and they go grab coffee and they hit it off. That's the process of dating, kind of. It doesn't have to be coffee, you know? It can be anything.
I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to.
So when
What do you
we
mean dating,
find,
like,
when
So
we
I
find
describe whatever. I'm funny. Streamers are supposed to be funny and entertaining. I just gave you a funny joke.
like old things, how do we date those old things? How do we know when they were?
How do we date those old things? Well, it depends on the age gap, doesn't it? Snap. Damn, got him. See? I got it. I got it. See? Dating those old things, that depends on how big of a gap we're talking. You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate my humor.
were created?
I know what they say. I know what they claim is carbon dating.
Oh, yeah. So radiocarbon dating, that would be one way, but you
what
don't
I'm
believe
stating-
in
what I'm simply
radiocarbon
stating-
dating.
What I'm simply stating is that we haven't existed long enough to know if it actually works the way that they think it works.
Dragon Wannabe says, the funniest part of your jokes is how self-satisfied you sound while making them. It makes me chuckle.
And how do you, what's your
And-
proof of that? You don't have any. I don't
There's
even know
no
why I
proof
asked.
either way. There's no
Duh.
proof that it works, and there's no proof that it doesn't work.
There's no proof that it works. How does carbon dating work?
You date carbon.
They use a complex system of mathematical variables, but the problem is there's too many variables that can get in the way of that.
No, they don't. It's not complex at all. It's actually really fucking simple how carbon dating works.
Uh-oh. This guy should have just Googled it on the spot.
Go ahead and make your attempt, because when I looked into it, it was.
Why didn't you just Google it?
That was 12 years ago.
What do they look at? What do they look at with carbon dating? What are they looking at specifically
Carbon.
to get their information?
Some kind of chemical change. Some kind of chemical change, if I remember correctly.
I
This is
mean,
something we're talking 12 years ago that I looked at.
literally everything is a chemical change. That could not be more vague, Chris. Let me walk you through it. So there's this thing
Go ahead.
Called carbon?
called carbon-14.
Oh,
Okay. Now this is going to be very basic.
okay.
Carbon-14 is emitted by literally, or not emitted, it's absorbed by every living thing, whether it be a plant, whether it be an animal, whether it be a human, whether it be an insect, everything
Or even
takes it
a Lucy? Even a Lucy has that?
in carbon. Now, when people die,
Oh no.
when these creatures
Stop talking about death. That's not very good on my wholesome stream.
die, or where a plant dies, that carbon-14 starts to decay. And we know the rate of that decay. We know how long it takes carbon-14 to decay. We know what the half-life is. The
You don't.
half-life, yes, we do. Yes, we do know
Oh,
what
go
the
ahead,
half-life
keep
of
going.
carbon is. It's 5,730 years. That is the half-life
Have
of a
we existed
carbon-14 atom.
5,000 and so many years?
We don't have to, because we can do math. So, like,
Math? Now we know Jovan is a Satanist.
and let me just, this will be real good for you. If I know that it takes me 100 feet to walk from my house to the store, or we'll go even bigger. Let's say it takes 10 miles to walk from my house to the store, right? And I walk 2 of those miles.
Okay.
I don't have to walk the other 8 to know that there's still 8 miles left, right?
You do.
Because now let's go a step further. Let's say I want to know how fast I'll get to the store. Let's say it's a mile to the store. Or you know what? We'll stick with 10. Let's say it's 10 miles to the store and I'm walking 1 mile an hour. Okay? I'm going super slow. I'm doing just 1 mile an hour. Okay?
Damn,
And let's say
that's a slow trek.
get 2 hours in. Right? I've gone 2 miles. And let's say I keep that pace the entirety of the time. I keep the same pace. Can we guess when I'll get to the store because we've seen the pace that I've done so far?
Yeah, at a stupid hour. You should never go to a store like that, okay? Like, why would you do that? Why would you go to a store that's so far away? Call a cab, dude. It's just, I don't know, get someone to drive you. What the hell? Too long would be my answer. Not worth going.
I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Go ahead.
Right.
Keep going.
So if
I'm
we look
ready
at
to
carbon,
rebuttal when you're ready.
if we look at carbon and we look at it in the short term and we see how much it decays over for say 5 years, can we then extrapolate out?
He should have trolled him a little bit. He should have asked him, why would you go to such a faraway store? You should have told him that. My mom returned from the store just now.
Using basic math.
I'll be right back. My mom brought me something from the store, I think. I'll be right back, okay? I'll show you what my mom got me. I'm back. I got a Actimel. No pie. Ice cream, actually. My mom got ice cream. And a Actimel. And a hot dog for my dog, Pyra. We already gave him one. We gave him a hot dog because he's a good boy. He's a good boy, so he's got a hot dog. Evolutionary hot dog.
How much it will decay in 10 years?
It's possible.
100 years?
It's
It's
possible.
It's possible? Or it's like
It's
literally just basic math?
Basic math is possible. Some don't know it. but
When
it's
you're ready, I'm
possible.
ready to rebuttal.
Oh, please. I can't wait for the rebuttal.
Okay, so 10 miles. You
Have you considered that some people do not know basic math?
say, right? You're walking. You gone 2 miles, and you saw that going 2 miles.
And then you broke your leg. And you're not able to go at the same pace as before. What now, big boy? What now? Have you considered those variables, big boy, big fella, big man?
Took 10 minutes to walk those 2 miles. So now you can speculate. You know, so many distance. By the miles, it's going to take me this much time to get there. And you can make that guess. Yes, you can. But then a variable shows up. Somebody comes in a car, hop on in, and drives you the rest of the way.
Can you
Now
point
you're
me
there.
to one variable that happens
And
within
you-
carbon
and what
within carbon
happened
decay?
here-
Can you
I
point me to
understand
one?
what
Can you
happened
point
here.
me to one variable that happens in carbon decay?
What happened here is you got there a lot sooner than you thought you were going to.
Can you point to me one variable that happens in carbon decay?
You broke your
There-
leg.
There is possible infinite amount of variables that exist
Can you point to one?
that could have
Yeah.
Can you
that
point to
could
one?
have
Yeah. Someone kidnapped you in their car and they drove you to the store.
existed.
Can you
I'm
point
not
to
the
one?
scientist here.
You know what?
All right.
You know what? You know what? You're right. You're not a scientist on this. You're not. You're not. So that's interesting. Would you like to speak to an evolutionary biologist? Because I have one waiting in the wings who will gladly talk to you.
Damn. Evolutionary biologist. Is it Richard Dawkins? Just kidding. Richard Dawkins is not an evolutionary biologist, actually.
Right now.
I don't talk to more than one person.
I
I don't talk to strangers.
won't say a
get
word.
slammed by two
I
different
won't say a
people. To get
word.
slammed by two different people is unfair.
Chris, I will shut up. I will shut up completely.
Wait, to jest mięta z czekoladą? O. Oh my god. Wait. Masz dla mnie łyżeczkę? Co? I got chocolate mint ice cream. I got chocolate mint ice cream.
Please.
Dziękuję. Dziękuję. What did you eat dinner first, Lucy? Yeah. McDonald's.
I'm asking you if you would like to talk. You specifically, not me, not anybody else, but if you would like to talk to an evolutionary biologist on whether or not carbon dating or evolution is true.
So good.
Again,
Well,
I'm not
I'd
going to
rather
say a
not
word.
be-
Interesting.
I'd rather not because
Interesting.
Well, no,
You don't want
it's
to.
not even that. Like, I'm not scared to. It's just, moreover, I already know that they're going to repeat exactly what you said. Why should I have to
Well,
listen to
because
another
they
person
have
say it?
because they have degrees in these subjects. Like
Oh, I
literal
100% understand.
degrees.
All
You
right,
don't
Oh my God. Somebody spoiled. Yeah, me. I am spoiled. It's the fallacy of what do you call it? Appeal to degrees fallacy. Giovanni, you can do better than that.
want to talk to someone with a
seen
degree
doctors.
in evolutionary biology, but
I've
you
dealt with
disagree with
doctors
it.
who have degrees in medical science, but does it mean that they're going to be able to cure any illness that I'm dealing with? You understand? We're just practicing in this world. We don't know everything. We don't know
What it,
anything.
Chris,
There you go. Stop your appeal to degrees fallacy.
what it
Think we
sounds
do.
like is the minute
It
an
is-
expert
it
in the
is.
field, is ready to come in
You
here,
call him an
you got
expert.
scared. That's what it sounds like just happened.
You call him an expert.
Okay, you're not going to use fear tactics against me. That's perfectly fine that you think that I'm scared. I'm not going to sit there and try to defend myself one way or the other, whether or not I'm scared.
Chris, I have limited knowledge on evolutionary biology and on carbon dating, but I have someone that has immense knowledge
I also,
on evolutionary
I also
biology
do have limited
and carbon
knowledge.
dating.
I also
So
do have
then
limited
what I
knowledge on
think
that.
would be best then here, right? If we both have limited knowledge, what I think would work the best is if we brought in an expert on evolutionary biology, right? Because we have limited knowledge.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask you a question. Are you okay with other people believing in God?
No.
Am I okay with it? And like,
Never.
what? I don't think we should make it
Yeah.
illegal, but I think it's silly.
Do you think it's silly? So, like, if I
Yes.
practice religion, do you consider me silly?
Yes, I think
Do you
speaking
consider me
to
wrong?
I think speaking to the fictional man in the sky is kind of silly. Yeah. Would I consider you wrong?
Okay,
Yes, I
so-
think you believe in a fiction. So yes, I think you're wrong.
So, I mean, I could say the same about your conceivedness of, believing that there are over 1,000 different genders, but
Have I ever
you have the
once
right
said
to
there's
believe
1,000 genders, Chris?
There's 1,000 genders. There you go. I said it. There's 1,000. No, there's not 1,000. There's an infinite amount of genders. And I'm not joking. I'm saying it sincerely. There's an infinite amount of genders. Flip me. I'll defend that stance. There you go. I did it.
you did not too long ago.
I said there were 100 different pronouns in the English language, and I can list them all if you don't believe
Pronouns,
me.
Sorry.
If
sorry.
you don't believe me, I can list
like I told you
all of
before, I'm
them.
not real good with English.
I can list every single one if you don't believe me.
So I don't think that you could actually list over 1,000 genders. or
Neither do I,
pronouns,
because
or
I
whatever
don't
you call it.
believe in 1,000 genders. But what I do believe in, is quite simply
Dr. John says every time someone complains about how many genders there are, they add 3 more just to spite them. True. I can name all 1,000 genders, by the way. I can name an infinite amount of genders. I can name every single one of them. I do believe in at least 7 billion genders. That's a small number. I believe in an infinite amount of them. The infinity plus. Because apparently infinity is not even infinite. Infinity is just a big number that's incomprehensible to our mind. That's why you can add infinities in math.
hold on. I'm trying to fix this really quick. What I do believe in is 100 different pronouns. That
Do you believe that God? Do you believe God is
kinda
evil,
can't-
or people that believe in God is evil?
Do I believe God is evil? I believe the Christian God is evil 100%.
Do you believe the Christian God is evil?
Chaotic evil, lawful evil. What kind of evil is God? According to the D&D chart.
Yeah, he's done like really fucked up shit.
I thought you said you didn't believe in him.
Yeah, I also think Voldemort's evil, and I don't think Voldemort's a real person, right? Like fictional beings can be evil.
Is God inherently evil? Or is God like the new woke evil? That's super redeemable and sympathetic.
And so you think
Korean wannabe, definitely more than 7 billion, because even if any given person has their own gender, I don't think those genders are stable or true.
God described in the Bible is evil?
No.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
yeah.
you're referring to the times in which people got, unalived during war.
Lawful evil.
Or more so the time where he was like, y'all can own slaves. That was pretty fucked up. Or when he told Moses to go kill all the Midianites. And then when Moses' armies came back with him, he said, well, now take all the virgin girls and split them up amongst yourselves. That was pretty fucked up. Or when he told slave owners that it's okay that they beat their slaves as long as their slaves don't die. That was pretty fucked up.
I'm pretty sure
or when he told a dude to kill his own son, that was kind of fucked up. Or when he let
Nomadic says there are more than multiple distinct genders. We describe them under the terms man, woman. I believe this too. Yeah. Chaotic evil. That's true. That actually tracks.
Satan fucking kill all of Job's kids, that was fucked up. He's done a lot of fucked up shit. Or just creating suffering. Kind of fucked up.
Like, if you accept the existence of non-binary people, then at that point, yeah, there's no limit to how many genders you have. Actually, unironically. Why would you put a limit, actually? So yeah, I'll defend it.
Well, you didn't create the suffering part. We did.
God created
That's
everything.
our fault.
There's nothing in
No,
this
you
universe that exists outside of God's will. So put that in your book.
No. We are not. We have free will.
There
we
is
have a right to
nothing.
decide to do whatever we want to do.
There's nothing that
God
exists.
does not control that.
There's nothing that exists
God
in
does
this
not
universe.
control what people do.
There's nothing that exists in this universe that was not. And I will repeat that. Let me say it again, one more time. There's not a thing in this universe that was created that was not created by God.
Actually, I'm gonna start a poll because do you want me to continue this or move on? Continue. Move on. There you go. So Calvin is on his ass. There you go. Let's start. Then I'm gonna unpause. But you have a choice. Because my audience always has a choice in these things. I have an exciting thing. I actually have a pretty exciting thing lined up next. Exciting for me. I don't know if it's exciting for the audience necessarily. I know Karasu will find it exciting. I know at least 1% in the audience will find it pretty exciting. So
Not
Yeah,
a thing.
that's
That
very-
I'm
includes-
actually, I've just gotten into it for a stupid video. I've known about its existence before, but when I actually got the bare minimum knowledge about the setting, I got excited, actually. So,
Universe.
oh,
Exactly. So he
people want me
created
to move on, it seems.
suffering because
We're
there's
gonna
not a
wait
thing
a
in
minute. We're gonna see how many people will vote. We're gonna see. I'm gonna wait a little bit because the voting percentage keeps fluctuating.
This world that was created, that was not created by God. He created all of it. All of it.
He did create the concept of suffering. I will agree with you on that. But God is not the cause of it.
Also, if God is all-knowing and outside of time, the concept of time, then there is no free will.
Yeah, of course he created suffering. If he created everything and he created suffering, then he's the cause of suffering.
Also, God created evil.
So if I decided to, I don't even like to think of me deciding to do anything bad. Oh gosh, let's see here. Let's say if I'm going to go ahead and use somebody, I'm not saying that this is true. So please don't take it that way. Let's say he takes Obama
Obama.
and decides that Obama is,
Obama.
let's say Obama decides to,
Send aid to Ukraine in 2014.
kidnap a woman.
What?
I don't know if there's a cleaner word for kidnap. I apologize.
Okay, why? What the? Why? What is this example of? Why are we here? Why are we talking about Obama kidnapping women?
And make her
Obama.
suffer. That's not Obama that did that.
No, that would be God creating
God
the ability
created all
for
that?
suffering. God created the ability for suffering in the first place.
Yeah. Also, God created evil.
So God gave Obama free will during that particular moment.
Let me
And
just
the very fact
let me
that Obama used
wait. It's real simple.
the
It's
very
real
fact that
simple. It's real
Obama
simple.
used that free will
It's
to
really
make somebody
simple.
suffer is God's
Wait.
fault.
It's really simple. Why does God care more about Obama's free will over the suffering of the woman?
Uh-oh.
I believe simply because God understands life a lot more differently than we do. This
God
life
works in
that we're
mysterious
living is a
ways. Got him.
temporary fracture compared to eternity. When we
that
die,
didn't
we
didn't
don't
answer a
die.
single question I
We
asked you.
simply get transformed.
That didn't answer a single question I asked you. Why does God care more about the free will of Obama in this instance than he would of the woman that's suffering? Why does he care more about like let's say I'm sure you let me ask you a question. Let's say you were walking down an alley. Okay?
Okay.
You personally, you yourself
Me,
were
myself.
walking down an alley.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And you get to this alley. All right?
Yeah.
Let's say you get to this alleyway and you see a
Yeah.
woman getting raped.
Oh, damn.
Okay? And you have the full ability to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Right? You could very
Mhm.
easily stop this rape from happening.
Oh.
Okay?
Yep.
You would do it, right?
Maybe.
would.
Maybe.
Yeah, of course you would. Nobody, like, why wouldn't you? Okay? How come God doesn't? How come God sees
So what is up with this debate? It's wild. It's a wild debate. Hello, Incub.
women getting raped daily and he don't do shit about it?
I'm 100% sure that God is up in heaven angry, furious. Wouldn't just start Armageddon right away. He looks
You
down, he
think-
looks at it and says, "I want to do it, but I'm waiting
Why
a
is
little
it about rape? I don't know. I don't know why it has to be about rape.
bit longer."
Okay, hold on. I'm just confirming here. You think
Go ahead.
God is up in heaven
Mad.
going, I will eventually I'll help all the rape victims.
Yeah.
Just not
No,
while
God
they're being raped.
eventually is going to set everything right. God
Not while
eventually
they're-
will
but
set
not while
everything
they're-
right.
Yob Tobe says we much chimpanzee related.
Not while they're being raped, though. Fuck them while they're getting raped.
That is a weird sentence. That was a very weird saying. Fuck them while they're raped. Is a very strange sentence structure. Is it just me, or was that a really weird sentence to utter?
Well, we do this is bad in the eyes of God as that
Oh.
racist.
It's bad in the eyes of God.
Anytime you tell a lie, and the Bible does say that lying is an abomination, every time you tell a lie, that's as bad as raping somebody. To God.
Oh,
Okay.
I think it's the evolutionist the great evolutionary has joined the chat.
Well,
Because our rules that we created for ourselves are not the same rules that God has created for us.
Mhm.
God is more complex. He's a lot more. He's on a different playing field.
Am I live? I'm
Yeah.
What the hell is with the echo? God damn, evolutionary.
No, that's awful.
Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna fix
I-
that. 1 second. 1 second.
I just want to throw out while you're fixing that. I'm going to take this out of my ear because I can't handle hearing my own stupid fucking voice. But like, I was listening a little bit.
Oh my god. It's crazy that evangelical never read the biblical scholars that wrote on the question of why God doesn't stop evil.
Before I came in, and I heard this argument about whether or not God creates suffering or anything like that. My brother, have you heard of Isaiah 45:7? I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Go ahead. I know that.
Oh my god,
Okay,
now
hold on,
the
hold on,
guest
hold on. I
is...
just need to-
Now
I
everything's
need to-
going.
Yeah. You guys got to give me a second now. I haven't had a co-host since I switched all my vMix stuff, so I'm gonna just.
Why we have
quick-
Everybody here's
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it was really funny that you didn't want to talk to Forrest, and now Forrest wanted to talk to you, the evolutionary biologist. Everybody, welcome
The
Forrest.
great
Malkai.
evolutionary.
He
I'm not
wanted
doing
to.
this. I'm not
he
talking
wanted
to
to
two
say.
people. I'm not talking to two people.
I
I'm
don't.
not
I
talking
don't.
to
There's,
I
that's the
heard-
issue.
I heard him earlier saying that he would
If
just
that's the
leave
case,
long
if that's the
that
case,
he didn't have to talk to
I'm just gonna
people.
hang up.
If that's the case, you're
If-
just
if
you're
that's
not.
the
Wait,
case,
wait, wait.
I'm gonna hang
Hold
up.
on, hold on. Whoa. You're confused
No,
here
no,
because
no.
you're not gonna talk to two
I'm
people.
making my stance.
You're only going to talk to
I'm
me.
making my stance. No. I'm making my stance. It's either one person.
Exactly. You are only
and
going to
that's the
talk to one
who I
person.
originally called.
No, you're only going to talk to
The
one
person I
person.
originally
You're
called.
only going to
If
talk to
you can't-
one
if you
person.
can't respect that,
There's
if
only
you cannot
one
respect that,
person.
then I'm gone.
There's only one person you're
Chris.
going to talk to. It's just not
And
me.
it needs to be you. It needs to be you.
No, oh, no.
Chris,
It's
Chris,
you.
just to be clear, like,
I'm not going to
he
have
did offer.
two different.
The echo thing is just annoying. That's a professional streamer, okay? This person has like 1 billion viewers. Jovan has 71,000 subscribers, and he's a pro at this. What the hell?
I'm not going to have two different discussions going in two different directions. It's not going to happen.
No,
You're not
Chris,
going to have two different
I
discussions. You're gonna have
agree.
one.
Oh my
I-
god, what the hell is with that echo?
I also don't want to have two different discussions in two different directions. He offers
No,
to
no,
this.
The echo guy.
It's either one person or I'm done.
It is one
You're the one
person.
person.
I don't know which.
Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you a question. Let me just ask you really
I'm just
quickly.
not going to do it. I'm making my stance.
Can you fix the echo, please, Jovan?
That's fine, Chris. You make that stance.
The person who just
Chris.
answered, is he going to hang up or I'm done? That's
Well,
plain.
I just want to ask
You
about
guys
your
make whatever
stance that you just
speculation that
took.
you want to make. I make my
Chris,
stance.
I just want to ask. I want to ask about that.
Jovan,
stance.
fix the echo.
Are you guys?
I
Are you
just
guys
want to
gonna?
ask
Are you
about
guys
that
gonna
stance.
respect? Are you guys going to respect? I'm willing to. talk. I'm
Jovan.
willing to talk to that one person. Are you guys going to
Yes.
Are you guys going to respect that? My stance on that. If not, I'm going to hang up.
No, we are going to respect your stance on that. You
Oh my god.
are now talking to me. He had a degree.
I listened to it
You're
12
making
years ago.
these.
Okay, the echo's
You're
gone.
making these
In
big claims
order
about
for
it.
me-
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you.
Oh, hold on. In order for
Thanks.
me to actually get more
Finally.
deeper into this, I would have to dig out my notes. I would have to dig
You
out
don't
my
have
notes
to.
to look at.
You don't have to just have a
right.
casual conversation about it. What I got is Jovan. I was sitting in the other room, and Jovan just texted me and said, "I'm arguing with a Christian that doesn't believe in carbon dating," and I just texted back, "Let me in there." And so, like, if you have an issue with carbon dating, or I'm guessing evolution as well,
Hold
we
on,
can just
hold
I can
on,
just
hold on.
we don't have to have an academic discussion
Hold
about
on.
it. I can just take your questions.
Hold on, because you said something that is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with carbon dating at all. I just don't believe that we have
That is
existed
real.
long enough to know that it works in the long time effect.
Also, for everybody,
that
for
is
everybody
being
saying,
taught
I
to us
did
that it works.
just really quickly, guys.
Right.
I did
But-
see
but with
your, I
all that
did
said-
see you guys do the Shadow
with
Realm
all that
stuff,
said-
but I gotta let this play out. So I will.
with all
We'll
that
talk about
said-
that in a second.
So the
With all
issue
that
here,
said,
the issue with what you just said, Chris,
clearly, my stance.
is that we don't
Clearly, my
have
stance
to
is
be
not
around.
respected.
Well, no, it's not
Clearly,
your
my
stance
stance
wasn't
is not
respected.
respected. So I'm gonna go ahead and go.
He brought in
I hope you have a
somebody
great
who
day.
could talk about this, and what you just said doesn't make any
I hope you
sense.
have a great day. God bless you.
Chris,
I'm
Chris,
gonna
what
pray.
you just said, doesn't make any sense
and
because you don't have to
I'm
be
gonna do
around a long
volunteer
time to see if it
twice as
works that
hard.
way.
I'm gonna
It
do volunteer twice
actually-
as hard now because supposedly I'm serving an evil
promise
God
you,
You
that
are.
is
Yeah,
so
Jovan-
terrible.
Chris,
In
I
which
promise you, I'm going to
performs me
lead
to-
at least 5
feed
times as
homeless
many people
people,
away from Christ as you
to-
will
to
lead to
clothe
them.
homeless
That's not what we're
people.
talking about here.
I'm
You
serving
just
this
said that
evil
we
God
can't know that carbon dating
that
is real
compels me-
because we haven't been around long
Chris.
enough
that
to see it.
compels me
But
Chris,
it-
just
do all these
relax,
evil
bud.
things.
Chris,
like
just
take care of
listen for a
children
second.
and take care of other people.
And
Chris,
the
You guys have a
entire
good day.
fossil fuel
Chris, just
industry is
listen
reliant
for a
on it.
second. Just listen for a
Damn,
second, Chris. He ran.
Don't forget to take your ball on the way home. But like, fuck, dude. Like the last thing he said there, he's saying my stance wasn't
Okay,
respected.
that's over.
He said something that didn't make any the decay rates about these things, and to say I don't know this thing.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay. So now that Chris has left, that is the perfect opportunity for us to leave as well. Okay, the debate's over. That was fun, wasn't it? Crayon wannabe. It's a character flaw of mine, but one of my pet peeves is the word supposedly. It's supposedly. Exactly. They didn't respect my sense of no echo. Listen. Actually, you can use echo in all the raids in Final Fantasy. Echo buffs your stats when you die against a powerful boss. So you can have a little bit of an advantage. But if you want to be a tough person, then you click this on this little button, no echo. And then you have no echo for the raids. Okay? You don't get that buff if you want to be super tough. Yeah, I started playing FF14 again. Let's go. Okay, let's go to the very funny. I know, I'm a funny person, okay? I'm an entertaining streamer.